The top 10 new first issues debuting this week on July 7th, New Comic Book Day. Hey everyone, it's VM Campos, comic book fan. Welcome to the latest episode of the weekly VM Campos Comic Book Club. This is episode number 276 of the weekly show. The show where I count on the top 10 first issues debuting this week, so you can head on over to your comic shops, tell them VM Campos sent you, and buy the books that you're really interested in. Consider going over to your favorite podcasting app, searching for VM Campos, and subscribe. Listen to me on the go. Don't forget to comment on this video, like, share, all that good stuff. Tell me what you thought about the comics. Consider pressing the join button to become part of the VmCrew. But in the meantime, we've got comic books to talk about. Let's get to it. Alright, let's start off with a brand new Batman comic over here. Batman Secret Files, The Signal. Are you into Duke Thomas, the Batman of the Daylight? We've got a brand new series. So this is a one-shot written by Tony Patrick, art by Christian Deuce. This is the regular Ken Lashley cover. Very cool cover if we see here. What do you think about a Batman of the Day with these yellow tones with black highlights and such? I love the design of the costume. We've also got a variant cover over here. This is Cully Hammer. Which of these two do you like better? This one's a little bit more cartoony. Look at those edges on the art of the character compared to the little bit more realism in the other one. A little bit more of that cartoony realism. So brand new issue. It's a one-shot. If you've been meaning to get into Duke Thomas, Batman, The Signal, this one's for you. Now, I pride myself in keeping up to date with comic books that are coming out, but I was shocked to see this comic fly under my radar, so I snap ordered it. Hopefully I get my own copy of it. This is Scout Comics, Black Caravan Imprints, Tales Told in Technihorror, number 1 of 4. So I always like recommending short series, 1 through 4 issues, 1 through 6 issues, whatever, because you get a complete story quickly together, something to enjoy. And I like getting horror comics, horror anthologies, and that's exactly what this is. This is written by Kia Arntagan and art by Christian Divari. Tales Told in Technihorror is a biannual horror series that blends the best in horror subgenres such as body shock and grindhouse. Each issue contains 5 short stories from the dark minds that brought you Provenance of Madness, includes a mini pin-up gallery of horrors. Look at this cover right here. This is the classic trope. This is what the Dead Space sort of trope pioneered in Aliens and so forth. But it's a horror up in space. And this logo is just kind of amazing. The Technihorror aspect. It's in various colors here and then blood red here. Now this is season 1. So this is a brand new series just debuting. And as I said, I didn't know about this myself until I started to put this week's video together, and I thought I was on top of the world of comics, and I guess I wasn't. So this is the one I'm recommending this week. I just ordered it. Can you judge a book by its cover? If so, this is a very amazing book. Black Mask's GODKILLER Tomorrow's Ashes, number 1. Look at this cover. This is a mind-bending, amazing, grotesque, eye-catching cover. Reminds me a bit of David Mack, but a little bit more put together. No, this is by the cover is by Nen. It's written by Matteo Pizzolo and interior art by Anna Wychek. It's back from Matteo Pizzolo, who worked on Calexit, and Anna Wychek. The comic that Zach Thompson said pushed me further than I've ever been pushed before returns to ratchet up the chaos and roar through the comic market, spitting punk rock fury, thundering into your eyeballs and running roughshod across your brains, with its often mind-bending, how many brains do you have? With its often mind-bending, sometimes horrifying, always clever, and devious tales of sci-fi magic, apocalyptic sex, and subversive mind bombs. Someone had a lot of fun writing that description, and this cover, again, looks amazing. And there's no preview art here to check it out, but I've got this one on my list to pick up this week. This is a fascinating pick coming up right here. We've got wrestling plus comic books, which has been a long, fruitful combination in the history of comics. Here from Boom Studios, we have the WWE's The New Day, Power Positivity, number 1 of 2, written by Narcisse and Walker. Interior art by Daniel Bayliss, and this is the Daniel Bayliss cover as well. This is a hilarious cover. Who are the New Day? Coffee, Xavier, Big E, 6-time WWE Tag Team Champions. So it's basically their origin story told in comic book format. We can see here, this is the artist of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and I think that's a perfect artist to have when you talk about wrestling comics. So great interior art, this sort of cartoony style. The caricatures of the real-life people, I think, work very well. So I appreciate this preview. We've also got this variant cover. This one is by Raza, and Raza always paints very realistic art. So look at those pancakes. I want some pancakes. This is in issue 1 of 2 coming near you. Here's a riddle for you. What's black and white and red all over? The answer, of course, is Red Sonja. We've got a brand new Red Sonja series here from Dynamite. Red Sonja, black, white, and red. This is the regular Lucio Perillo cover, which is interesting because you're always used to seeing Perillo's art very realistic, very rendered in full color. Here we have the black and white version. So the gimmick here is that it's various stories by various writers and artists, and everything is in black and white except for flashes of red, which of course will be Red Sonja's hair and any blood that may be spilled. We've got a variety of variant covers. So the Perillo cover, we've also got this Emanuela Lupacchino cover, a little bit more of a cartoony style, reminds me a little bit of the Dodsons, Terry and Rachel Dodson style, a little bit in the face. But here we have Lupacchino's cover. Then we've got Philip Tan's cover. I kind of like this one the best of all, even though Perillo's cover art is always amazing. I kind of like this, the dynamic aspect of it with, it's not just black and white, there's shades of gray with, it seems to be ink washes, so that's amazing. Now what do I always say? Always get the cosplay covers. So here's the cosplay variant cover of the comic, and they also did a black and white version, which I don't like. One of the things about black and white, doing black and white well, black and white photography, is that you really need to lean on the contrast of black and white, as well as putting in maybe some grain and so forth. This is just going into Photoshop, reducing the saturation slider to 0, and we're done. No, to do a good black and white image based on a color image, you need to tweak Photoshop a little bit more than that, possibly add a red filter, increase the contrast and so forth, and really enjoy the black and white aspect of it. But I'm just nitpicking here. So it's a brand new Red Sonja series with a variety of creators: Kurt Busiek, Amanda Dibert, Mark Russell, Ben Dewey, Kat Staggs, Bob Q. Brand new issue number 1 of a new Red Sonja series. You played the game, now read the comic. We've got Life is Strange, Coming Home number 1. This is from Titan Comics, written by Emma Viacelli, art by A Variety, and this is the cover art of Ikuni Nakamura. So this is a great cover, very evocative. When I saw this in the catalog, I wanted to get it right away. I ended up getting a different variant cover, which I'll show you here in a moment, but this one is the Claudia Leonardi cover. What is going on with this reflection down here versus the characters? Then we've got this one. This is the one that I wanted to get, the Gretel Lusky cover. I just like the aesthetic on this a lot. Very cartoony style with these elements of the character and the map in the back. The one I ended up getting, because I actually am on a budget, believe it or not, was this one, the other Gretel Lusky cover. I just kind of like the aesthetic of this character more than the other character. This is the one I'm picking up. And we've also got this one by Veronica Fish, who also worked on Witch Blood, I believe. And just a lot of great covers. Again, if you played the game, here's the comic version of it, and reminding you that there's a new game coming in fall 2021. So I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and I was there when we got He-Man, Transformers, Thundercats, Silverhawks, the Monchichis, the Snorks, etc. I was there. And He-Man was one of the big cartoons of the day, and I had the toys and everything. There was that one where you could hit He-Man's chest and then he'd get battle damage. It was amazing. There was also that one character, Faker, that my mom would always pronounce wrong, and we'd always laugh because you can't say that, Mom. We've got a brand new comic. This is the official prequel adaptation to the new Netflix series, helmed by Kevin Smith. Yes, that Kevin Smith. And so here we've got written by Kevin Smith and Rob David, with Tim Sheridan, Mindy Lee, interior artist, and this is the Stefan Sejic cover. Very cool, very realistic. I like his stuff a lot. The one I'm picking up, however, is the much more mannered Mike Mignola variant cover. Look at this. This is Hellboy creator doing a very Hellboy-esque He-Man. This is way different than the muscular, super realistic He-Man, and I kind of like that you can take these classic characters, put them in a blender, mash them up with the right creators, and get some interesting stuff. So if you want to see the official prequel to the series, Dark Horse Comics has got you. This is one of 4. Happy birthday to Skybound, the imprint of Image Comics, where we got The Walking Dead, Invincible, and etc. This is a brand new weekly series that we're getting with a variety of writers, Robert Kirkman, Tilly Walden, etc. A variety of interior artists like Tilly Walden, James Herron, etc. This is the Ryan Ottley cover. Now, there's a brand new Walking Dead series, mini-series that's coming here in Skybound. Now, what's it called again? Skybound X? Skybound 10? I'm going to call it Skybound X. It's a brand new series. It is leaning into way back on issue 50, where it was like the superhero version of The Walking Dead. So it might not be exactly what you think here. It's Rick Grimes 2000. So see what it is when you get it. There's a bunch of variant covers. This is the Ultra Mega variant cover. That sort of kaiju series that they published recently. There's this one here, and also another one. So a bunch of variant covers by Otley et al., James Herron, etc., Tilly Walden. And this is coming out weekly. Not sure for how many weeks, but this is to celebrate 10 years of Skybound Entertainment. Were you there in the 90s when Marvel released X-Men #1 and sold millions of copies thanks to Jim Lee's art? I was there. And now you can experience the same sort of thing decades later with a brand new X-Men #1 from Marvel Comics. This is written by Jerry Duggan with a variety of variant covers. This is the Pepe Larraz cover. Very cool action right here. Go get him, Laura. Then we've got the Nick Bradshaw cover. This one is also very cool. I like that it's sort of quadranted out into the various parts of the art. There's Rogue. Then we've got the Juan Cabal, Carmen Nunez Carreño cover. I always loved the design on that. It really stood out to me when I saw that design. This is the Stormbreakers variant cover, where it's showing the art of up-and-coming artists. Marvel Girl looks amazing. This is the Joshua Casada cover. Very cool close-up. This seems to be a connecting cover. I think I see Rogue's leg over there. This is the one I'm getting. This is the Jim Lee X-Men comic card variant. So back in the day, comic cards were hot. I was collecting them. They were amazing. There was also the X-Men series that was all drawn by Jim Lee, and it was all about the X-Men, and that's what the border looked like. So much nostalgia. We're not done yet. We still got about 32,000 variants to look at. Here's the Larry Houston variant cover. Everything's cool. Wolverine, Jubilee. This one is the Rob Liefeld variant cover. Throw in Deadpool in there, why not? It's his 30th anniversary. Wolverine looks tough right there. This is the Iban Coelho Peach Momoko variant cover. This doesn't look like Peach Momoko's art. I think there's a little mistake here. It's the Iban Coelho cover, because this one looks like Peach Momoko art, of course. Looks very cool. This is the anime art that she's doing at the moment. And lastly, the Nacha Bustos Patrick Gleason RB Silva variant cover. Patrick Gleason usually has a different kind of style, but I don't know how it's going. Anyway, yeah, there's the connection of it, because there's Rogue's leg connecting to that other art, plus someone's hand. Laura Kinney looks amazing. X-23, Cyclops. This is a very cool cover. So I already picked the one I'm looking for. There's too many to choose from. I picked the card variant cover. Interior art looks amazing, as is on par for the current flagship titles over at Marvel. Ooh, that thing looks cool. So yeah, brand new X-Men #1. Will it sell millions of copies like back in the 90s? No. But that's okay. Brand new X-Men #1 to enjoy. Before we get to #1, I've got an honorable mention for you. Stray Dogs #1, 4th printing. This series is amazing. I loved it. I got every single issue. Every single issue filled me with dread. This is a series that the blurb is combining All Dogs Go to Heaven with Silence of the Lambs. It is very beautiful, cartoony, Disney Don Bluthy style inside by artist Tony Fleeks, who worked on My Little Pony. Very good art with the story of stray dogs that are adopted by a possible serial killer. Now, the series just ended, and if you read the series, you saw the growing dread in the comic. I could not believe what I saw on issue 4, and then how issue 5 ended. I'm shook. I can't believe it. Issue number 1's being republished as a 4th printing, and they were doing a bunch of these horror homage covers. This is obviously an homage to the original John Carpenter The Thing cover. There's other ones like the Scream cover, Friday the 13th Part 1 cover, just a lot of amazing variant covers. And it looks like this week Image is publishing a bunch of reprints of the whole series, because then we've got issue number 2, 3rd printing. What is this one right here? This is The Evil Dead Part 1 cover homage. This comic hits you like a freight train. Matthew Aguilar, comicbook.com. Love this cover. It's amazing. It feels exactly like the Evil Dead movie poster. Then we've got this one over here. Do you recognize this one? This is issue number 3, 3rd printing. The recent indie horror movie Midsommar, which was a very trippy movie. Let Sleeping Dogs Lie. So this is perfect. And then number 4, 3rd printing. This was a little bit more. If you know horror movies, this is Psycho. This is the original Alfred Hitchcock, Anthony Perkins movie with that style. Janet Leigh right there. A new and altogether different comic book excitement with 3 exclamation points. Stray Dogs, issue number 4. So there's a 5th one that will be coming soon, 3rd print. So we're getting 4th prints and then 3rd prints of all of these other ones. This is my honorable mention for this week, because there's a number 1 here, but this series already came out a little while ago. And this is amazing. Pick it up. Get it in the trades, get it in the visual issues, get these horror homage covers. This is a great series. And my number 1 pick for this week comes from Ahoy Comics' Black's Myth number 1. This is written by Eric Palicki, interior art by Wendell Cavalcanti, and cover art by Liana Kangas. Meet Janie Strummer Jones, just an ordinary werewolf private investigator trying to make it in the mean streets of LA. When the case of a lifetime falls into her lap, it's up to her and her charming djinn assistant Ben Sialat to figure out how many silver bullets have been used and just where do silver bullets come from anyway. So we've got some very cool interior art preview here. I don't think the interiors are in black and white, but even if they were, that'd be cool. This is a mark of good draftsmanship in terms of if you're able to do your comic book in just black and white, this shows that your color work will also be very strong. So we get a great sense of realistic anatomy, environments, interesting panel layout. It all seems to be in a very mannered staccato style, very small panels, quick panels, and so forth. And again, I don't know if this is in full color. If it is, I'm sure it looks great, and even in black and white it looks really nice. So this is my number 1 pick for this week. Something off the beaten path, Werewolves and Djinn from Ahoy Comics, Black's Myth number 1. And that was my top 10 list of comic books from this week. What did you think? What did I get right? What did I get wrong? Tell me about it in the comments below. What are you picking up that I'm missing? Remember, these are all first issues that I'm talking about, but there's a bunch of comics that are not first issues that I missed. Tell me all about it down in the comments. I would really appreciate it. I would also appreciate it if you consider pressing the join button right here in YouTube, or heading over to my Patreon, patreon.com/VmCampos, and becoming part of the VMC crew, where you'll unlock perks and all that other good stuff. If you can't pledge at the moment, no worries. Simply like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell, battle the Minotaur, do all that good stuff. I would really appreciate it. This has been the weekly VM Campos Comic Book Club, and I'll see you next week.